Life is Battle Royale. A game that, when I first started playing it, loved it. Still love it. To a degree. Maybe a little bit lesser than when I first fell in love with it. Which leads to I hate it a lot of times. Or I hate aspects of it. As a kid, when you're watching like WWE, you're watching the Royal Rumble. Over the top Battle Royale. Whole bunch of like 30 guys in a ring, slugging it out, duking it out, trying to throw each other over the top. Sometimes you got 10 of them trying to throw the big guy over because he weighs so much and he's just knocking everyone left and right. And as you're watching it, you're like, there's no rules to this other than your feet can't touch the ground outside the circle, otherwise you lose. Because the whole purpose is to be the last one in the ring. And you always hate that one wrestler that only has one foot touch the ring or didn't go completely over the ropes. They went through the ropes. And so if they do hit the floor, they're not disqualified. And it makes for good dramatic storylines. It always does. It makes for compelling storylines that probably lead to like a WrestleMania event or whatever the next pay-per-view is, whatever the next title match is or whatever. But you know that wrestler didn't win it honestly or honorably. To which I'm reminded nowadays, that doesn't even matter to anybody. They just care about the W. That's why there's so many cheaters in the games we play in the real world as well as video games. A bunch of folks who, if I had to guess, they don't think that they could win straight up. And so they cheat. Or they don't want to be held to, it's like when you're dealing with people who cheat in relationships. They don't want to be held to commitment. And so they cheat. And I used to believe, my dad used to tell me, people cheat because they're looking for something they can't get in the relationship that they're in, rather than just break off the relationship, right? But when I think of like, what does it mean to cheat? It's just, I think of games, I think of players, I think of people who are willing to do whatever to get to the prize. And when you say it like that, in some way, you think, oh, that must be an honest, honorable player. And it's just like, no, someone who breaks the rules for a game where the rules mean something. And then you're just reminded, man, I live in a world where nobody likes rules, but they want to rule people. You want to set the rules and rule other folks. It's like folks who don't abide by the speed limit when they driving. There's a reason why there's a speed limit, so you don't crash, dummy. It's not just for your safety, it's for the safety of others. When it comes to rules in games, it's not just so you follow them, it's so everyone follows them and you play the game that you would think people enjoy playing. Some folks, when they're hearing this, they're going to think I'm just talking about a video game. Now I'm talking about life, dog. Life is Battle Royale. Every day. One of the things I miss about my dad and having talks with him is he used to say, you're getting tested, man, every day. Every day is a test. It's a test from Allah. You're going to have people out here testing you. Test, 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 test. And that's what it felt like as of late. Well, it's felt like that damn near all my life, just being tested. As of late, it feel like you don't know why you're being tested. Like more of that. You don't know why you're being tested. Why are you being tested in the ways that you're being tested? Why are people so testy? Why are they always just poking the tiger and trolling? And then if you pop them, hey, why'd you do that? Because you testing me. You don't know how to take a joke? There's a joke and then there's you testing my ass. There's two different things. I be having to remind my students time and time again of this thing called discernment. Being able to judge a situation. Being able to tell the difference between something. And it's like no one likes that. We're not supposed to judge. Who said that? If your ass get robbed today, man, if you put food inside your fridge, go to sleep and wake up, you gonna make a judgment call saying someone robbed your ass if there ain't no food inside there, right? Is that a bad judgment? AKA an observation? And you just came to a final assessment of something. What people got to issue with is condemnation, punishment from a judgment. But the very act of judging, no. They say, are you a good judge of character? We like using the word then. A part of me want to talk more like this. But to what end? For what purpose? For what meaning? Because some folks is going to hear that and they be like, oh man, this man is spitting right now. He's spitting that truth. And then there's going to always be this group that's just like, why is this nigga complaining all the time? And it's just like, I wanted to yell there. I wanted to scream at the top of my lungs, but I pity my neighbors for having to put up with me. And the times where they have had to put up with me. The times where I've just yelled at the top of my lungs because that's all I had in me that day. And now it's just questioning, is it even worth yelling anymore? Is it even worth expressing anymore? Is it even worth talking anymore? So usually when you're being tested, you think of school, the tests and exams that you've had to take, and you hope that you pass. But like you're also wondering, well, what am I being tested on? And through failures, usually a success is born out of that. But it's like, man, if this thing is like life is battle royale, and it's like the games that we play, shit, you lose more than you win, that's for sure. For me, I just be wondering, what am I being tested on other than my patience, my resolve? What is the test? What's the? They say the world is a classroom, right? And it's just like, all right, well, we got the classroom, this thing called life. The most obvious test is like, you gonna do the right thing, you gonna do the wrong thing, which is based upon what do you even believe in, which you find most folks don't even have some shit that they believe in. It's like, what do you stand for? As Malcolm X said, if you're a man who stands for nothing, falls for anything. Man, part of my anger every day is just not having my dad anymore. Not having that steel that sharpens my steel. You get tired of having to be the sharpest steel to sharpen everybody else's steel, and then when you looking for you to get sharpened, they pull their dagger back and they just say, oh no, I can't, I'm too dull. It's just like, nigga, what? I'm not really good with folks playing dumb. I'm not good with folks acting like they don't understand. And then for me as an educator, once someone tells me they don't understand and you're putting me in the position to have to teach you, once I go to try to teach you some stuff and then you be like, oh, no, I do understand. I just didn't want to do it. You could have just said that shit to begin with. You just ain't want to do it. And there's a way that you want to do it. You just want me to shut up and do it. But if you know it's wrong for you to take that route, then it's just like, oh, well, there it is. And my ass just being dumb. Caring too much. The thought that come to mind as of late, life is a test that been testing my sobriety something fierce, man. And I just refuse to give up on myself. I refuse to want to get back into a headspace that others put me in, that I still got to deal with to this day. That others put me in, making me care more about some shit than they care about. Put me in a headspace where feeling like desperate, not wanting to be here, harming myself, all that. Nope. I remember last year, man, when my leg started just buckling, walking up the damn hill to go teach, and having folks that could give you a ride not give you a ride, and then got the nerve to ask your ass, hey, why's your leg hurting? Man, fuck off. You know why my leg is hurting. That's what I mean about being tested by folks acting like they don't understand. And it's just like, nah, you want that happy-go-lucky, just do whatever and not ask no questions SoulMan. That's what you want. You want that 20-something-year-old SoulMan. And it's just like, yeah, no. Got a banged up body and I still show the fuck up to do what has to be done. To get the work done, to get the job done, because who else gonna do it? Ain't nobody coming behind me. I guess this week is just more of a thing of just wondering, what exactly am I being tested on? To what end? To what test do I have to pass? What's obvious to others may not be obvious to me, and vice versa. I'm trying to learn to be more compassionate. Some folks argue that, oh, you being overly compassionate. To which I'm just like, when ain't nobody giving you a pulse to go off of, how are you supposed to know? At some point you get tired of coming off as the old nigga who care. Just for folks to be like, so I'm glad you care, but at the same time, man, I be hating when you caring. You can't have it both ways. And you're always going to have some dipshit that's just like, well, why can't you have it both ways? And them same folks wonder why ain't nobody around no more to care. And so that's it, I guess. I didn't know what the point of this video was going to be, but at some point I have to bring it to a point, no? Life ain't gonna stop testing you. People ain't gonna stop testing you. When you wake up, as soon as you wake up, you're being tested on something. Your alarm clock shit is testing on you. You're gonna wake up today, you're gonna go back to sleep. I guess the best thing is just get up and give it your best shot. I guess part of it really is just asking, does anybody really care if you pass the test or not? As much as we test each other every day, does anybody care if you pass the test? Have we even asked ourselves, what does that even look like to pass the test? And for those who are out there testing others, can you just please show people what it means to pass the fucking test? Because you're going to have a whole bunch of folks in this on some student shit walking up out of this and being like, man, fuck this test. I don't like giving up on things. Especially myself or others that I care about. Especially when you feel like you ain't have to give up. But folks just killing the love out of you. Killing the care out of you. And never being accountable for how they do so. Always that whole, well, if I did, nah, fuck that if. You did. You did. I wish people were a better judge of character so they could stop being afraid of every character that walks by in their story. Everyone got a story worth reading, yo. I'd like to think so. I wish others felt that way.